We have been looking at some biogeochemical cycles, namely the carbon cycle and the nitrogen cycle is what we have been looking at thus far. What we're going to be doing with this assignment, we've been talking about some of the biogeochemicals of matter, namely the carbon cycle and the nitrogen cycle up to this point. And what we're going to be doing with this assignment is kind of drawing in some arrows with lines that kind of trace the movement of carbon and nitrogen throughout the ecosystem. So how do you figure out where the arrows go? On the back side of each of these pages, you'll find some information that tells you a little bit about each image on the front. So for example, fossil fuels is located on the front. That one is located down here at the bottom. And some information about fossil fuels. They include coal, oil, and natural gas. They're found buried deep in the ground. So that tells us some information about fossil fuels, but it doesn't give us any help in terms of where they go. But if we look at some of these other ones, like factories, we can see that factories burn fossil fuels for energy. And the burning of fossil fuels is called combustion, and that releases carbon into the atmosphere as gas. That tells me a little bit about some arrows associated with fossil fuels, as well as the factories. The factories, they burn the fossil fuels, so that means that the fossil fuels have to go to the factories. So, on my front side here, I can take fossil fuels, draw an arrow going to factories. Because factories take these, they burn them, and we have some of that going up in that smoke there. Let's see what else we can find about factories. Factories looks like they release carbon into the atmosphere as gas. So we kind of see that right here. Where's this going? It's going into the atmosphere. So the fossil fuels, once they're burned by the factories, the carbon that's located in the fossil fuels goes up into the atmosphere. And again, we're not tracing fossil fuels per se, but we're tracing carbon, which is in fossil fuels. So this movement right here shows us literally from carbon being trapped as a solid and turning that carbon into a gas. You'll need to complete the remaining arrows that go on this page using the reading on the back side here. Same thing for the nitrogen cycle, which is located on the back.